We're joined today by Alex Cheeseman, Managing Director of Greenvale Energy. Alex, thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
Uranium exploration across Northern Territory and Queensland. Firstly, can you talk about why uranium and then give us a bit of an overview of the two projects you're developing?
Yeah, sure. So, uranium was going through a bit of a resurgence in popularity kind of late last year. A lot of interest in building out new nuclear capability. And I think what's really happened in the last couple of months was sort of global insecurity around energy supply. That has really exacerbated the interest to look at how can we remove reliance from sort of, oil-based energy going forward. So a lot of interest in uranium and continued interest in nuclear energy into the future. That's the opportunity we saw. So from an exploration point of view, we've been looking at uranium assets now since late 2024. Spent a lot of time exploring and drilling in Queensland last year, and are just about to embark on our first sort of major field program for our most advanced Northern Territory project, the Douglas River project.
What excites you about that project in the Northern Territory and getting on the ground with a drill rig?
Well, obviously getting on the ground is always, the key thing we're trying to achieve. We're an exploration company. We've got to do our work in the field, but we didn't get on the ground in Douglas River last year. We were working through land access matters. So one of our key tenements was granted in late February this year, and that really set the conditions for us to get out there and explore. So we'll be flying airborne radiometrics in the next 2 weeks, and we've already put permits in to get on the ground and follow up what we find from that in June, July. So I expect we'll have field teams out on that project June, July, August, looking to sort of further up and ground truth any anomalies we find and look to develop drill targets. I don't think we'll be able to drill test this year. It just takes a while to permit in the territory, but we'll be set ready to rock and roll with the drill rig next year.
You also have the Alpha Torbidite project. For those who don't know what torbidite is, what is it? But also, why is it now so exciting?
So the Alpha project, torbidite and canalite, it's a bit of a blend. We just run with torbidite and make it a bit easier. But the project itself is quite unique. It's one of the only assets like it in the country, dare I say the world. It's like an oil shale. So the processing pathway that the company's been looking at for the last few years is to take that project, the raw material, and then process it to produce bitumen. That leads to a few other questions of why bitumen, what's the market opportunity, but I'll let you ask those questions and I'll give you the answers.
The world has changed in terms of oil refining in the last few years. It probably wasn't a project in focus. Uranium was clearly the focus, but now with everything that's going on a macro scale, I assume it's coming right back to the fore.
No, absolutely. And I see our uranium exploration effort and this project at Alpha are very complementary because they're at very different stages. So from an exploration point of view, make discoveries, get everyone excited. That's always a great way to create value for shareholders. The Alpha project, however, exactly as you've said, crude oil refining has become a very topical issue. Bitumen is produced from crude oil refining, and Australia imports 100% of its bitumen. Most of those import contracts have recently been cancelled, and we actually have a crunch on bitumen supply to the country. Australia spent $1.9 billion on bitumen in 2024, and it's forecast to grow 5% year on year for the next 5 years. So we spend a lot of money putting bitumen on our roads in this country, and we don't have any bitumen to supply it. So being able to provide into that market as a single domestic supplier is a great opportunity for us. We're just going through test work at the moment. We're at the final stages to try and finally reach the Australian bitumen standard. We're very, very close. Once we've achieved that technical goal, the next thing will be very quickly wrap a scoping study around it, be able to come out with the economics around the project and show its real value. So we're really excited to get that work done.
What's the path look like across the portfolio from here, from a news flow point of view, that investors should be focused on?
Look, I think the next sort of 1 to 6 months, really busy with a focus on exploring and people in the field in the territory, and also pushing through this technical certification and then studies piece around the Alpha project. Beyond that, we start to get into the wet season, the back end of the year, so things will slow down on the exploration front. But there's always some strategic opportunities we're looking at from an M&A perspective in the uranium space. And also, I think there's a real genuine opportunity for us to collaborate with some larger players on the Alpha project once we get through these next two gates in terms of technical certification and then the study piece.
Clear catalysts ahead for investors to be focused on. Exciting times ahead for Greenvale and its shareholders. Alex, thanks for your time.
No, pleasure. Thank you very much.